Well, that was a show. WWE Crown Jewel. This is yet another special live event that was on Peacock. On the kickoff show, we saw the Hurt Business. Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin take on the Usos. It was nice to see the Hurt Business on the show in general and fighting a different team like the Usos. It was a good match. It sucks that Cedric and Shelton, they just put them back together just to lose some more. I mean, I guess it's better than them not being on TV at all, which is where it devolved to. But okay, fine. The Usos pick up a win. On to the actual event, though. We see Edge versus Seth Rollins in a Hell in a Cell match. I was surprised to see that it was the first match, especially after seeing the match. A lot of these matches had a lot to live up to, had a tough job following this Cell match. I thought this Hell in a Cell was really good, especially the creative ways that Edge and Rollins were able to not only use the cage, but use weapons based off of the Cell. Because we've seen so many Hell in a Cell matches. I think they even said this was the 50th Hell in a Cell match. Holy crap. And so some of them get redundant. Some of them feel like you've seen one, you've seen them all, or at least we've seen the best of the best. So all of the ones that follow will never live up to that. But this match picked up. It had some great spots in it. Edge gets the win. And so we'll see where Edge goes from here. Mansoor defeats Ali in a match that was only going to happen because we're in Mansoor's hometown. And then Ali attacked him afterwards, and then some random guy in a mask shows up. The crowd was reacting loud to him, and so I felt like I was supposed to know who this guy was, or what was wrong with me that I didn't immediately recognize him. He gets into the ring, he takes his mask off, and I still didn't know who he was. Apparently, he's from Saudi Arabia. He's like another hometown guy, and he, I think, was, they said, in the Olympics. I don't know. It just seemed very random this moment. Yeah, it was a good pop from the crowd. The audience liked it, but anyone in the States, I would imagine, was left confused. Randy Orton and Riddle defeats AJ Styles in Omos. This was a very straightforward match. I don't know if I'm just getting sick of Randy Orton and Riddle, RK Bro. I mean, I loved them when they first started, so it's hard to imagine that it's me getting sick of them. Maybe it's just because there isn't a whole lot of other teams for them to go up against and for them to have interesting feuds with. They've been feuding with AJ Styles and Omos for, it feels like, forever. And also, every time I see AJ Styles in these tag team matches, it depresses me because I feel like AJ should be a singles wrestler, should be on the upper tar, and he shouldn't be still teaming with Omos. And so I'd love to see AJ go out on his own. Zelina Vega defeats Doudrop in the Queen's Crown Finals. This Queen's Crown tournament has been a major disappointment. It's been severely underwhelming given how short all of the women's matches were. But I will say this. Given the fact that I didn't expect Zelina Vega to really have much of a career, especially once she came back to the company and continued to lose virtually every match she was in, I like her with the crown. I like her look and her, like, what this gimmick could do for her. I think she will benefit the most out of anybody else probably that was in this tournament. I just feel like people like Toni Storm and Liv Morgan and Shayna Baszler should have gone a lot further in this tournament than where they ended up going. Goldberg defeats Bobby Lashley in a no-holds-barred match. I'll be honest, I did not even know that this was going to be no-holds-barred. It helped tremendously, though, the match, to have weapons, although what do? We use chairs, we use tables, and we use kendo sticks. boy, does WWE love their kendo sticks. And it was nice that the Hurt Business did show up because I was wondering why aren't these guys interfering or being more involved in Bobby Lashley stuff? But here you go. They showed up here. Goldberg obviously takes them out. And then Goldberg with the spear off the stage through a table. I thought that was a cool spot, especially for a guy Goldberg's age to do something like this. Of course, they say it was 15 feet high, and when they show the replay, it was barely 5 feet. It's like, why make it sound like clearly you guys are lying? But all in all, this match was a lot better than it had every right to be. Xavier Woods defeats Finn Balor in the King of the Ring finals. This was shocking. I did not expect Xavier to get past Jinder Mahal last week on Raw, so talk about a pleasant surprise. Yeah, it sucks, I guess, for Finn Balor that he leaves NXT, and he didn't even want to leave NXT, and he gets called up to have that feud with Roman Reigns that did absolutely nothing for him. And then now he loses in the King of the Ring finals. But this is something that I am happy with. Xavier Woods winning. He's been talking about how much he not only wanted the King of the Ring tournament to come back, but how much he himself wanted to win it. And I can't believe they gave it to him. I can't believe it. Normally, this goes to a heel, or it's a perfect sort of thing for a heel to take and run with. But Xavier, he's now the king. So I don't know if this means that maybe the New Day will split up, if Xavier will turn on Kofi, or maybe both Xavier and Kofi turn heel, or maybe we just have a babyface king. I guess it's possible. And let's be honest, Xavier probably won't end up winning the WWE title like Kofi and Big E has. So at least this is a big accomplishment, a big thing that WWE was willing to give Xavier. And I think this is great for him and his career. Speaking of Big E successfully defended the WWE Championship against Drew McIntyre. This was a pretty solid match. It was hard, though, for me to fully get invested in pretending like I didn't already know, and that it was obvious that Big E was winning this since Drew was going to SmackDown. It's interesting, too, how much Drew has been being beat this year, between losing to Lashley, losing to Damian Priest, and now losing to Big E. He's supposedly supposed to go to SmackDown to start a feud with Roman Reigns. And I don't know how believable that's going to be, given how much Drew has been losing. Maybe he needs to be built back up a little bit more for that to work. Becky Lynch defeats Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. This was a really good match. And the reason why I say that this was really good, as even compared to the Big E match, is even though it should have been obvious that Becky Lynch was winning, since Charlotte still has her belt and Becky has the belt for SmackDown, normally it would have made sense to have, let's say, Bianca beat Charlotte for that Raw Women's title on Monday. And then so now here we could have had Sasha take the SmackDown title to SmackDown, since all of these people have been drafted away. But no, they didn't do that. They're probably just going to have them swap the belts, which is really, really dumb. But I say that this match worked because I got lost in it. I forgot that it made more sense, or that it should be obvious that Becky was retaining because of the belt reasons, the brand reasons. I started to think that Bianca was going to pick up the win, especially the few times that she showed her strength and picked these girls up, both of them at the same time. Bianca looked great. It sucks that she keeps losing these matches. She didn't get pinned, but she still hasn't been winning a lot, so hopefully she will end up taking Becky out going forward into Raw. I also don't know how much I love Becky being a heel. I know that this is something she wanted to do, and I appreciate her wanting to change her character up, but I don't think her character need to be changed. This cocky thing that she's going for just comes off more obnoxious and annoying, and maybe that's what she wants to, but at the same time I find it more like I don't really want to watch her act like this versus the badass that she was just some 2 years ago. In the main event, Roman Reigns defeated Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. I was surprised, not that Roman kept the belt, I wasn't really surprised so much about that. I figured that was the case, but I was more surprised that Brock Lesnar got beat clean or got the pin. I know the Usos came out. I know that Heyman threw the belt in the ring, but they've also still kept it a mystery as far as who Heyman's allegiance is completely for. Probably saving it for yet another match between them where Heyman will definitively turn on Brock or attack Brock or do something to Brock to show that he is in fact with Roman. This match was also surprisingly good given the fact that just a couple of years ago I was sick to death of watching these two fight each other. I was at both WrestleManias where these two wrestled each other, the crowds being completely against both of them and not being into it at all. But now that you have the roles reversed, now that Roman is a heel, now that Brock is being a face for the first time in feels like decades, this was an interesting dynamic. The story with Heyman, I thought this match worked. I thought overall this show was decent. Yes, it was pretty long, and yes, there were certain matches that I might not have cared as much about. And yes, the whole idea of them doing this show in Saudi Arabia in general is really wrong and really messed up on so many levels. But as a show, as an event, there was nothing that was annoying, nothing that was completely booked in the wrong direction. I will say that Crown Jewel was okay. It was okay, wasn't terrible. Let me know in the comments below, what did you think of Crown Jewel, if you liked it more, if you didn't like it at all, or if you said, I'm not going to watch this at all, given where they are. I don't blame you. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later.